Now that we know our problem, which is California gas prices are too high, we move on to the cause. First, refining costs are rising as more refineries close. According to Energy Information Administration, or EIA.gov, eight major crude oil refineries have closed since 2020, totaling to a loss of 750,000 barrels per day. With this, it's no wonder that the cost of gasoline has been going up, and we have yet to see a back to normal rate as we did pre pandemic. At one point in the pandemic, gas demand was super low since people weren't driving, and this caused the refineries to close their doors for good. But now, since we have moved back into a semi normal post pandemic life, the demand is back up and the supply simply isn't there because the refineries aren't there. Number two, the United States has struggled to meet demand. As previously stated, people are out driving again, and with that comes the need for gas. With our production facilities closed, it's impossible to meet the demand now more than ever. Number three, there's a difference in national gas taxes versus California gas taxes. According to energy.gov, Saudi Arabia controls 60% of global crude oil, so they, for the most part, control the market. And the national tax rate is 57 cents per gallon, but on average, the tax rate in California is a whopping 97 cents per gallon. That's almost double that we have to pay compared to the rest of the states, not to mention the extras. Number four, there is a difference between national gas and California gas. According to KTLA.com, California has a special formula they add into their gasoline that helps reduce carbon monoxide, smog, and toxic air pollutants. This only increases the price per gallon as these additives are not free. California is known for being an environmentally friendly state, and with this comes higher taxes. Along with these higher taxes, we have stricter laws which make this market a tough one due to all the restrictions. The states need money to fund all these programs, and us, the consumers, are stuck with the bills. Number five, national disaster and global disputes spark bidding for available crude oil. When there are conflicts, tensions rise, and with this, global cohesion drops. Certain events can cause shortages of all sorts of supplies. With crude oil being one of our most necessary supplies, it's very susceptible to be cut or marked up in price. This causes, of course, a chain reaction that us as consumers feel the most as we pay top dollar for our necessary items. Sure, the whole country may feel this price hike, but California always feels it the worst. Number six, the majority of the US refineries are located along the Gulf Coast. California receives most of its gasoline by tankers that travel across the nation or international transportation. Think of it as online shopping. The further it is, the more we pay. This also applies for gasoline. If our supply isn't coming from another continent, it comes from across the country, which is also very expensive. Distance from supply usually means higher prices. Not to mention the Gulf Coast has had severe weather due to warmer waters. Hurricanes and natural disasters are happening more and more often, and with most of our supply coming from that area, we will likely continue to see rising prices with such events occurring. And number seven, distribution and resale. Also, distribution and resale play a very big role as the final step in the gas operation chain. Some gas stations are owned and operated by refineries, so they get better gas prices. This includes Costco, Sam's Club, Safeway, etc. But we don't see them as often compared to other brands. This is, of course, because they need more space and there simply isn't enough space for them. But the other brands that we see are Arco, Shell, Chevron, 76, the list goes on. But they are most of the time independent businesses that buy gasoline from refineries at a higher rate. With this comes a higher price as stations are forced to resell gas to be able to make money. Sure, it's convenient to fill up at the gas station by your house, but you will pay a higher price when compared to buying from a big retailer. Also, a lot of these gas stations charge more if you use a debit card or credit card compared to cash because it's another way for them to make more money. At the end of the day, it's more money for the owners at the cost of the consumers. Thank you. Now that we understand the cause, we will next move on to the solution.